teams have had a year and an offseason to watch film on the guy, study this Ravens offense, see exactly what they're doing, and see what's their best chance to stop him.
What's up, Guff Gang? What's good? What's cracking? James Reiner and I, Joey Marino, are back with grown-up fantasy football. And yet again, Zach is still not here. We are still waiting to hear about his misdiagnosis and
Let's just be
surgery.
honest, Joey. He doesn't want to be here. That's why he's not here. He's letting you, the Guffers, down.
I mean, he could have rescheduled this appointment. Just saying.
Guff you, Zach. Guff you.
You heard it here first. Guff you, Zach. But today, so yesterday we asked the question: is Taysom Hill, quarterback for the New Orleans Saints, for real? And today we're asking another question, back in the same vein of what we've kind of been doing, and that is, what has happened to Lamar Jackson, quarterback of the Ravens? What's been going on with this guy? I mean, he looks great some games. He doesn't look so great other games. We don't really know. But what we're going to do is we're going to ask ourselves that question and find out the truth. What happened to Lamar Jackson?
Yes.
But before we do, be sure to hit that subscribe button down there. It's a magical button. And what it does is when you click that button or you tap on that button, and you hit that little bell icon next to it to get notified whenever we post a video, directly onto your phone, you get a notification that Grown Up Fantasy Football is telling you there is fresh fantasy content out there for you, specifically for you. So be sure to hit that button, and it also may help Zach get back. It may pay for our health insurance like last video. It may grow the Guff Gang. So we want to make sure that you hit that button so that you get notified whenever we tell you about this stuff. Enough of all that. Enough of the formalities. Let's get into the hard-pressing issues. James, tell me what happened to Lamar Jackson.
All right, let's get into the facts here with Lamar Jackson. He is the quarterback 9 right now in 4-point passing scoring leagues for quarterbacks. He is 175 for 276 for 1,948 yards, 15 passing touchdowns, 6 interceptions. His rushing is 103 attempts for 575 yards, 3 touchdowns. That's averaging 5.6 yards per carry, and he is averaging 19.46 fantasy points per game. To start off, so he's not bad. He is your quarterback 9. He is still in your top 12, in 12-man leagues. He is a starting quarterback for a team. The problem is where you drafted him at. You drafted him in the second round, probably, because last year he was getting you quarterback 1 and running back 1 numbers each week.
Yeah.
This year, he is not doing that. And that's a disappointment. You can't spend a quarterback 9 is someone you can pick in the last round easily. Now, what do you think from the beginning of the season up to now? What do you think's been going on with him?
So like you said, it's been a downgrade from last year, and especially from where you drafted him. He was going in like the first or second round in some drafts, and he kind of looked like a chump, kind of picking him. No offense. But I know Zach picked him in our league, so he's the chump. He's not even here. Yes. And he kind of faced a pretty bad schedule this first half of the season. He had to play Kansas City, Philly, Pittsburgh, Indianapolis, and New England, who are all really good, top 12 against quarterbacks in fantasy. He's still producing, though. It's just not as much as what we had last year and what you expected to be this year. You wanted him to take another step forward in this offense. He's only his third year in the league. He's only like 22, 23 years old. You expected him to go another step forward, even though he took a gigantic leap last year. But he hasn't done so. He is taking little baby steps forward. So, James, what's been wrong with Lamar?
So, what I think a big part of it is teams have had a year and an offseason to watch film on the guy, study this Ravens offense, see exactly what they're doing, and see what's their best chance to stop him. I think that's the biggest thing. We saw this with RG3 in his second year.
Yeah.
Much more drastically. Teams completely stopped him his second year. That's what I think the biggest issue is. What do you think's been going wrong?
I think you're on. I think you're pretty much right on it. Defenses have figured out Lamar Jackson, and I think it started with the playoff game against Tennessee last year. Vrabel figured out how to beat him, and I think I was listening to ESPN over the weekend, and I think it was Sal Palantonio was talking about how Vrabel funneled everything outside to beat Lamar. You have to make him throw outside, make him run outside, take away the middle of the field, take away those Mark Andrews streaks downfield, take away the Hollywood Brown streaks downfield, make him throw outside to beat him. That's what a lot of teams are doing this year. And the thing is, they're figuring out that the Ravens ran the ball a ton. The Ravens used a 3 tight end set like all the time last year, and that's how Lamar found a lot of his running lanes. 3 extra blockers in there. The thing is, they lost Hayden Hurst in free agency, and now Nick Boyle is down for the rest of the year. So they're down to just Mark Andrews and some other guys they're bringing up from the practice squad. Not the same offense. Lamar has had to throw, I think, a little bit more. And last year, his longest pass was 83 yards. This year, it's only 47 yards. Now, not to say that that's not long. That's still a long way to throw, but it's a significant drop-off from last year. And he's already surpassed his sack total from last year. He took 6 sacks, I think, and he's on 7 right now. Not good in the passing game. And I think one of the biggest things is the rushing inefficiency. His yards per carry was 6.9 last year. He's down to 5.8. He's getting 10 carries a game and only getting 58 yards averaging per game. Teams are not afraid of him really anymore. They're not afraid of that offense.
Yeah. From the passing perspective, I think a lot of this is he just doesn't have the weapons. Like you said, missing Hayden Hurst. Really, he only has Mark Andrews and Hollywood Brown, and both of these guys have missed some big plays for him. They've dropped some touchdowns. They've dropped a lot of balls. I think Marquise Brown is very inefficient. I don't think he gets the job done at all for Lamar. I think they need to give him some more weapons. It can't just be all Lamar Jackson. The running game is the running backs aren't that good. Ingram
Dobbins
is
looks pretty good, honestly.
I think it's all Lamar just making him good, in my opinion. But from the rushing standpoint, Lamar just doesn't look as fast as he did last year to me. He doesn't look as quick to me. I don't know what's going on.
I think, defenses are ready for him now. No one's really... I think he was facing a lot of empty sets a little bit last year, and he's incredibly elusive. So he's going to break at least one tackle on each run. But defense are stacking the box a little bit more, maybe. But I think you're right about the weapons he has. It's nothing like the Cowboys wide receiver core, the Falcons, or even the Browns with OBJ there. Hollywood Brown, we've all been waiting for that breakout to happen. I know the 3 of us have all season. Just hasn't happened, and probably won't this year. Honestly, the way that Hollywood's been playing and the way that Lamar's been playing, I don't think it's coming. It can't be just Lamar back there. The other thing is they lost one of their linemen, I think, for the rest of the season. Was it Marshall Yonda? I can't remember. Either way, they lost an offensive lineman who was great in both running and passing game. And he's gone, so that hurts. But, I think we've bashed enough on Lamar. Let's talk about what's good. What is still good about Lamar Jackson?
I mean, he's not losing you games. He is not getting these 3-point, 5-point games. He's still putting over 15 every game. He's pretty consistent, a safe floor, I would say. He's just not getting those highly explosive games like he did last year.
Yeah, he's not necessarily winning you any weeks, but hopefully he's not losing you any weeks. I mean, if you spent the second round pick on him, then you're losing out on a running back one or a wide receiver one. The thing is, he's still getting 20 fantasy points per game, which is 10th among quarterbacks. So he's still really good for fantasy. His rushing opportunity is still going to be there. All the rushing attempts go through him pretty much. Another thing is he's pretty durable. He hasn't gotten many injuries.
It's true.
And for such a small guy, too. I mean, I would think whenever he gets pummeled, got to hurt something. But he's been fine for the past 2 years.
Small? What's he, 6'3", 200?
Okay, well, obviously he's bigger than me. But, I think about, probably unfair to compare him to, Cam Newton. Because Cam is huge. He's a humongous human being. But
Lamar is 6'2", 212. So
that's solid.
That's pretty big.
That's pretty solid. Yeah, that's a lot bigger than me. So probably shouldn't knock him for that. But another thing about Lamar that I think could be good is the Ravens are fighting for a playoff spot right now. So they're going to be aggressive with the ball. I think he's going to be throwing probably a lot more. Hopefully he's more efficient. And maybe they just run even more. But I think he's got a solid base, like you've been saying. So what's the schedule look like going forward for Lamar?
So he has Pittsburgh, Dallas, Cleveland, Jacksonville, Giants, and Cincinnati. I think this is a pretty good schedule outside of Pittsburgh. I can see him getting a lot of fantasy points on all these defenses. Pittsburgh's going to be tough, but after that, I think we could see last year's Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, it could. He really could perform against all these guys. Dallas is not very good. Jacksonville's not good. Cleveland's not great. I think the Giants, they're playing better than they have as of late. But they may be fool's gold, that defense. They're playing in a weak division, so not great quarterbacks they're going up against. So question, would you bench Lamar Jackson against Pittsburgh this week?
If I had a better option, like I have Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady, yeah, I think I would play one of them over Lamar.
Okay, what about if you picked up Taysom Hill off the waivers last week?
And Taysom Hill is playing
Denver.
I'm playing Taysom Hill.
Okay.
How about you?
That's tough. I think Denver's defense is a lot better than people give them credit for. And it was kind of a trap game against Miami this weekend. But it's Pittsburgh. Oof. Yeah, I think I'd go Taysom Hill. It's weird because... Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I still think Lamar gives you a safe floor against Pittsburgh. I think he gets probably 15. But I'm taking that upside with Hill, I think.
The thing about Pittsburgh, though, is they force so many turnovers. I mean, Minkah Fitzpatrick's got to get one at least on him.
Maybe, yeah.
And Taysom could still fumble the ball and throw an interception too, but Denver's not Pittsburgh, so I think I'd go Taysom as well. But going forward, like you said, you could see the old Lamar Jackson with any of these matchups. Jacksonville, he could rack up a ton of points on Jacksonville. They can't stop anybody on the ground. And Dallas, it's Dallas. But I think that's gonna do it for today's episode. So hey, leave a comment below on what you think has happened to Lamar Jackson. What do you think about him going forward? Be sure to leave that comment. And hey, be sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon. You're gonna get notified whenever we post, and you're gonna be part of the Guff gang. And to be part of the Guff gang is such a great experience. I mean, you can ask any of the Guff gang out there who's watching this video right now, how great is it to be in the Guff gang? It's so great. Yes. And hey, be on the lookout because tomorrow is Thanksgiving. May have a little grown-up fantasy football Thanksgiving special coming at you. I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? We could be thankful for players. I don't know what we could be doing, but you'll find out tomorrow. But hey, be sure to like and subscribe. Be sure to grow up. Be sure to have a happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. And go get guffed.